What's up, guys? It's Value, and in this video, I'm gonna be going over a funny topic that I actually have talked about a bunch before.
And you met Satoshi in Seattle in 1993.
Yes.
He also came to you in a dream. You have a nice relationship with Satoshi.
I feel like I do.
Yeah.
Tell. Definitely have an opportunity to meet him back in 1993.
Have a chance.
Guys come into crypto, they come into the industry, and they, whether they're celebrities, whether they're athletes, whether they're DJs, famous people in the industry, they come into the industry with one thing in mind: to extract millions of dollars. Scottie Pippen is one of the worst because he comes in and says some shit that is just out of pocket, bro. Like, the stuff that this guy says is just out of this world. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff that he said, and I'm going to show you the things that he does in the industry that everyone that's in the industry kind of just fucking hates, dude. Like, we cannot stand this guy. He's the most cringe mother in the space. The creator of Bitcoin is named Satoshi, and that's the pseudonym for an anonymous guy that created it. So I'm going to do an interview real quick, so just to brush up on what the fuck is going on with Satoshi and who people think it is. This is Michael Saylor. He's like the biggest guy in Bitcoin. He runs a company called MicroStrategy. And yep, let's get it started.
Fascinating things about Bitcoin, and sorry to romanticize certain notions, but Satoshi Nakamoto, that the founder is anonymous. Maybe you can speak to whether that's useful, but also I just like the psychology of that, to imagine that there's a human being that was able to create something special and walk away. So first, are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
I'm certain I'm not.
No,
I think the provenance is really important. And if I were to look at the highlighted points, I think having a founder that was anonymous or pseudonymous is important. I think the founder disappearing is also important. I think that the fact that the Satoshi coins never moved is also important. I think the lack of an initial coin offering is also important. I think the lack of a corporate sponsor is important. I think the fact that it traded for 15 months with no commercial value was also important. I think that the simplicity of the protocol is very important. And I think that the outcome of the block size wars is very important. And all of those things add up to common property. They're all indicia. If there was a Satoshi sitting around,
This clip, he mentions too that the creator of Bitcoin has like 1 billion of the coins, and he's never touched them. So whoever created Bitcoin is sitting on billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin, and they've never touched them since it was created in 2008. So it is a huge mystery, because that person can technically have $1 billion, and it's, since Bitcoin is getting so popular, it's growing in popularity. Big Wall Street banks, everyone's buying it. It's like almost to the point where down the road shit can get real if the creator wakes up one day, or that wallet, there's any type of activity on that wallet. It could really stir things up. So when people talk about Satoshi, that's one of the big things they mentioned, that those wallets have been dormant since the creation of the actual protocol.
Cripple Bitcoin as property, but I think it would undermine crypto asset. Now, launch one myself, I would keep it in the entire.
He talks about if he was going to do his own coin, he would get more coins so he could rug pull people and scam people and become even richer. So he's saying that the creators of Bitcoin actually had ethical things in mind.
Appearing.
Do you think it was one person? Do you have ideas of who it could be?
I don't care to speculate.
But do you think it was one person?
It was one person, maybe in conjunction with a bunch of others. I mean, it might have been a group of people that were working together, but certainly the
rumor is it's a group of guys from Stanford. There's different names for the guys, but there's a guy named Hal Finney. There's a guy that he died. There's a guy that died from ALS, and his dog. That's the lore, that this guy was like a genius and he helped create it, and then he died. And that's why the coins are dormant. Whoever Satoshi is, it's a big claim. It's a really big deal in the industry. If we found out who Satoshi was tomorrow, it would be a really fucking big deal. It would be all over the news. You know, it's like one of the most revered things in history because Bitcoin kind of undermines the government and stuff. So there's no one to blame it on. So they haven't arrested anybody for creating Bitcoin, right? But the second that whatever we came up with the creator, it would change things a lot for crypto. I really don't know what would happen. So knowing all this now, just wait till we get to Scottie Pippen.
And it's just so fascinating to me that one person could be so brave and thoughtful. Or do you think a lot of his accent, like the block size wars, the decision to make a block a certain size, Bitcoin property?
And they failed for different reasons. And I think that it's like Prometheus tried to start a fire 47 times, and maybe the 48th time it sparked. And it sets a roadmap for us. And I think if you're looking for any one word to characterize, it's fair. Right? The whole point of the network is it's a fair launch. Then there's always this question of, did I pay, or I bought it for a nickel a coin.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, he goes into the details of who it is, what it is, all technicals, but he's obviously one of the biggest Bitcoin holders in the world. Michael Saylor has about a 1 or 2% of the supply with MicroStrategy, which is crazy for one guy to have. So yeah, there's this video of him with Scottie Pippen. This shit is such a clown fucking show, bro. It's like paid marketing, paid promotion. And if you notice, and we'll definitely get into this, Scottie Pippen, the title of this video is Scottie Pippen talks Bitcoin with Michael Saylor and talks Game 5 ball with crypto project ticker ball. So look at that. What a Bitcoin advocate, but then he's trying to do his own coin. What a shock. Does that ring a bell of any other things that I mentioned earlier in the video with the celebrities?
In Seattle in 1993. He also came to you in a dream. You have a nice relationship with Satoshi.
I feel like I do.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a story to tell. Definitely have an opportunity to meet him back in 1993.
Have a chance to meet him in Seattle at any point?
I have not met Satoshi.
So I think what's been nice.
I envy Scottie.
I think Michael's done an exceptional job over the past 4 years. We did a lot of calls together in 2020 when you were first getting into Bitcoin.
The only way that Scottie Pippen would have really met Satoshi would be because he's partying with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's the most popular human being on the planet. And say they're playing the Lakers or some shit over in Stanford, and they're just all going straight Diddy party mode, fucking partying and, doing their thing like over there. Like that's the only way I could see that in 1993 they were partying, because that's around the championship year. It was the 96 Bulls. I don't know if he was still on the got to the Bulls yet at that time, but Chicago was popping. One could see how, all right, if they're ripping he's ripping lines, ripping whatever, recreational things with the guy that created Bitcoin. I could see that, but I still don't see how the guy that created Bitcoin, how would he stay secret this whole time if he was out there just telling people left and right who he was? I don't believe it.
Educating the corporate world on what Bitcoin resembles, what it means for a portfolio, what it means as an investment asset class. Scottie, I think you have an opportunity to really explain the power and value of Bitcoin to a different audience, maybe the audience of the professional athletic world, or, the old fans of the Chicago Bulls of yesteryear. How do you view Bitcoin in your world, and how do you plan on sharing that the way Michael's done it with the corporate world?
Well, I really started getting into Bitcoin about a year ago, and I think it was around 33,000 at that time that really brought my attention.
So look, here's the math. He met Satoshi at a party in 1993. Yeah, he just got into Bitcoin a year ago. So how the fuck are you gonna know the creator? Like, you see, it doesn't make sense. These guys are all just such full
attention. And I just felt like that it was time for me to take the opportunity to try to get involved, to try to learn more about Bitcoin. And along that process, I sort of saw one of the categories that I felt like that I could bring some value, and that's having a real world asset. And when I look back 33 years ago, I feel like that I captured one of the greatest iconic piece of sports memorabilia. And today I'm ready to bring it to Bitcoin. And I think that we can build a lot of value in this.
So his token is about tokenizing I want to say it's a game ball, like one of the legendary basketballs or some shit. It's like the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. And there's yeah, see, look, this is one of his tweets about it. I had a dream I met Satoshi Nakamoto last night. He didn't see me as just another player. Instead, Satoshi was proud that I was opening a new lane for RWA. So look, just to give you some of the replies, this is the epitome of what outsiders think that's successful in crypto. When advised by a bunch of people who have no idea and just float their ego. Look at all the replies instead of doing any research. Please stop posting talk signals. It's too early to this. Be like Satoshi. Stop posting. Justine Harper says, oh my God, what in the name of cringe did I just read? Scottie, stick to losing money with traditional forms of gambling. So you see, is this real or were you hacked? There's no way one of the greatest NBA players of all time. So everyone in the crypto industry is like, no, bro, please stay away. Stop the cap. Get out of here, right? Everyone is just begging this guy to stop. So I wrote an article about it, and I use, you know, some of the examples from the crypto stuff, but I mean, I also brush up on, let me see. Look, this all started because he claimed that he met Satoshi 15 years before Bitcoin was created. So that to me is clearly rage bait, bro. It's clearly fucking rage bait. There's no way. Like I was talking about earlier, Hal Finney is like the number one guy that people think is Satoshi. All these guys were trying to do stuff with Bitcoin. They're all out there in LA. And then there's Scottie Pippen, who thinks he met him in 1993. The time doesn't line up. And when he did say that, one of his tweets, Satoshi Nakamoto visited me in my dream last night and predicted that Bitcoin would be 84,000. Bitcoin didn't hit 84,000 on November 5th, but it rallied to 90K after the election, making Pippen's prediction weirdly close. So, you know, my man said the price was going to go up, and it went up. He's talking about how he's literally saying that he's met Satoshi, which makes no sense if the guy himself just got into Bitcoin, like he said in the video the year before. And now he starts talking about here in this video, he's talking about the real grift, the Game 5 ball and the ball token. The strategy that you do with these guys, they give their Twitter accounts, they sell their Twitter accounts essentially for a short amount of time, period of time, to guys like me or people that know what's going on in the industry or involved in crypto or know how to tweet about this kind of stuff. And then they immediately, after building up maybe like 1 to 2 months of a rep or a tweet or talking about just even they think that talking about it is enough that their fans or people are going to want to invest in whatever bullshit, scam, grift, pump and dump that these guys are working on. When the reality is no one, and I mean no one, wants to buy a meme coin from Scottie Pippen. In July 2024, Scottie Pippen tweeted that he had a dream that he met Satoshi and that he's excited to bring this coin to the blockchain. So the translation of what it really means, Scottie tokenized his 1991 championship basketball as a real-world asset and created the token ball. The market cap, 2 million. So 2 million is so small in the grand scheme of things. I wish I could like put it in perspective. Dogecoin and all these other coins that you see people talk about and all these other meme coins that if you're familiar with crypto, they've shot up to billions in price. To give you an example, like Scottie Pippen's coin was 2 million. It's 100x less than one of those big coins that ran. So it goes to show you, like, no one at all in their wildest imagination or mind was considering buying this fucking scam token, Scottie Pippen. But this guy still has the audacity. Like, what I've learned about these celebrities, that they don't care. Like, maybe they're used to being in the limelight and getting negative feedback too, like from the fans or what, but they just do not care. These guys do not care about the feedback of what they get. So yeah, I wrote, let me repeat that. One of the greatest basketball players of all time, 6-time NBA champion with Michael Jordan, and it peaked at 2 million. And then he starts talking about how he met Satoshi, and he's not the only one though. Like I think in the beginning of the video, I was mentioning that there's been a ton of NBA players that have rug pulled and scammed. Josh Hart was in one of the lawsuits for crypto. He also did like an NFT that rug pulled his followers early. Because me and him have a mutual friend that's in crypto that I know he advised him, or I don't know specifically, but I know Josh Hart did some scammy shit. LaMelo Ball did NFTs on Solana, and he made $1 million from it, and his fans are all left holding the bag. Antonio Brown is probably the worst example. This guy has scammed millions of dollars, not even millions of dollars. At one point, he was messaging me even about trying to do a meme coin and all this stuff. And when I was talking to him, he was going through bankruptcy court, and then out of nowhere he just ghosted me. And one would think that Antonio Brown would be like, you could make viral videos and then you can get sponsorship deals, like kind of like Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a great example. Like, you know, like these guys can work with big brands. They don't have to like rug pull their followers and supporters directly, you know what I mean? But they don't give a fuck. And then NBA Top Shots, which is a crypto native project, which is like, it's like the first NBA basketball crypto thing to ever exist. Back in 2020, it started in 2020. I got into it, involved with it. I started investing in it in 2020. And by the beginning of the year, literally not even a few months later, it all crashed and burned. And a bunch of people lost money. And the founder, this guy named Roham, my man ran off and bought mansions in LA. He's like billionaire status, Silicon Valley. He's like successful because he made all this money while extracting it and scamming all these people with these NFTs. Anything with athletes and crypto has never, ever matched, bro. Never. So like it's never been a good idea to have celebrities. And because all these guys care is about taking the most amount of dollars that they can from their followers. So it's fucked up. I mean, I guess crypto in general is kind of like that because meme coins and stuff, just they always pump and dump. But yeah, so I talk about that. There is, you know, there's a few anomalies like KD. If you didn't know, KD is a seed investor in Coinbase, which is one of the biggest companies. And Spencer Dinwiddie is like one of my favorite players from the Nets. Like he's real tough. And he took his contract, his 34 million in Bitcoin, some of it. And then he also invested in I want to say he invested in Coinbase and different apps too. So there's some legit people in the industry. There's guys that try, like they're smart in the NBA, like savvy investors. But that's the way to go. But then there's also the guys that just don't give a fuck and will like come in and scam, like Scottie Pippen, the GOAT that supposedly has met Satoshi Nakamoto. So yeah, that's kind of all I got for this video. The newsletter that I write these articles in is going to be attached at the bottom. Subscribe to the channel and follow me on X as well at Volume Time if you guys are interested in more crypto related stuff. And if you do want to get involved in the market and invest or different things, I have links to different tools in the bio as well in the description. Nothing that you need to pay for. So that's all I got for you guys today. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.